Welcome to the SmartKeys podcast. So, if you're leading a marketing or a tech team right now, you are. You're navigating what feels like the single biggest strategic shift in, well, a generation.
It really.
I'm talking about the rapid erosion of third-party signal. It's not just one thing, right? It's this trifecta of changes. You've got global privacy rules like GDPR and CCPA, then platform policies from Apple with ATT, and of course, Google tightening up cookie controls. I mean, the broad targeting we all sort of grew up with, it's just vanished.
It's completely vanishing. And when you lose those external signals, the relationship you build directly with your audience, that becomes the defining feature of your business. It's your most durable asset.
Your most durable asset. I like that.
And that's really what we want to dig into today. We're going to use the source material to give you a practical, step-by-step roadmap for, performance stability and show how turning transparent owned data collection into a real competitive advantage is, well, it's essential right now.
And before we unpack the whole strategy, let's talk about the money. Because the motivation to act here it's just staggering.
It is.
The research shows that brands that really get this right, that use permission inputs, can see up to a, 2.9x revenue uplift?
And around 1.5x cost savings.
That's incredible. We're not talking about marginal gains here. This is it's a completely compelling case for immediate investment.
And that revenue uplift, it's tied directly to the foundation of trust. What's so interesting is that owned audience info first-party data, it's just inherently more reliable. Not just because you control it, but because it's rooted in customer consent.
Right, you collected it yourself.
You collected it yourself directly from a user who implicitly or explicitly agreed to share it. There's a clear provenance there.
And the market is already moving this way. I saw a finding from Deloitte and Google that said something like 65% of developers are already shifting toward these trust-based models.
Exactly. This isn't some future trend. It's happening today. It's all about lowering risk from those sudden expensive platform changes or a big compliance penalty.
Okay, so to build a strategy that actually works, we have to start by defining what we're even talking about, because not all owned data is the same, right?
Not at all. And it all fuels different parts of the customer profile. The foundation is what we call first-party data.
So that's the basics. Demographics, purchase history.
Exactly. Email engagement, anything you collect directly. It has the highest reliability, the most control. But within that, there are two crucial subsets for modern personalization.
Okay, let's unpack those. What's the first one?
We call them implicit signals. This is what users do.
So their behavior.
Their behavior. Page views, app sessions, what videos they watch, their click paths. It's passive data, but it's incredibly powerful because it reveals intent. You see someone browsing running shoes. You can implicitly predict a need for athletic gear.
Right, makes sense. And then there's the other type, which sounds like the gold standard, what you call explicit or zero-party input.
Yes, that's where the trust factor really comes in. This is data the audience tells you directly.
So not what you observe, but what they volunteer.
Precisely. It comes from preference centers, surveys, quizzes, those build-your-own-bundle tools. Implicit data predicts behavior. Zero-party data declares intent.
That's a great distinction.
It's the difference between seeing someone look at travel brochures, which is implicit, and then filling out a form saying, I want a 5-day trip to Paris in September. That's explicit. It just guides personalization so much more efficiently.
And just to put a pin in it, this is a world away from that old, aggregated, often unreliable third-party data.
Oh, absolutely. Third-party data is resold, it's often inaccurate, and it's facing all the scrutiny. And then you have second-party data, which it's a little different. It's shared between trusted partners. But the real sprint, the big industry investment, is toward owned signals.
And we see that in the market for customer data platforms, right? The CDP market is just exploding.
That's the signal. If businesses are pouring billions into tools to manage owned data, it tells you where the strategic priority is.
So let's talk about that. For someone listening who might have a good CRM or a data warehouse, why is a CDP or something like it suddenly so critical?
That really gets to the core of it. A traditional CRM, it's built for sales and service interactions, often asynchronously. A CDP is designed to ingest and unify behavioral data in real time.
Real time is the key.
It builds a persistent, unified identity. So when a user switches from your app to the web or buys something offline, the CDP instantly connects those dots. It's the engine for that real-time personalization that legacy systems they just can't handle at that scale and speed.
So once you own and unify those signals, your marketing moves from, guesswork to something measurable and repeatable.
And that clarity gives you faster, more defensible wins. The benefits are really clear.
Let's tick through them. First is precision.
Right. When your predictive models are trained on clean, consented first-party data, you just slash media waste. You're not guessing anymore. You can predict who's going to buy, who might churn. You can directly boost your return on ad spend.
And the second benefit, cost efficiency. This drives a lot of those savings we mentioned.
It really does. You spend less on data brokers and more on channels you know actually work because your internal measurement is finally reliable.
And number 3 is risk reduction.
A huge one. By aligning with regulations, GDPR, CCPA, Quebec's Law 25, all of them, you just avoid those massive compliance missteps. This is about protecting the bottom line from sudden regulatory headaches that can sink a whole quarter.
Okay, so if risk reduction is a core benefit, that brings up the big question of how do you actually do this? For a business starting out, where do you begin? It can't be collect everything.
No, it's the opposite. It has to start with clear objectives tied to real business outcomes.
Not vanity metrics.
No. Revenue targets, retention rates, reducing churn. Once you have the goal, then you do a full source inventory. You map every single customer signal website, app, CRM, email, social, and don't forget offline touchpoints. You need a complete map.
And the source material really hammers this point. This can't just be a marketing project.
No way. It has to be an organizational commitment. You have to get marketing, product, engineering, and legal all in a room early.
Get them aligned.
If they don't agree on data definitions and governance up front, you are guaranteeing costly data silos down the road. If legal doesn't trust how marketing is collecting data, the whole system just grinds to a halt.
So for a team facing that huge mapping project, what are the quick wins? How do you prove the value early on?
You focus on high-impact, low-complexity use cases, things like improving cart recovery with real-time browsing data, or streamlining onboarding flows using those zero-party preferences to tailor the first experience.
Or churn prevention.
Or tackling churn prevention with early warning signals. The key is to start small, measure the lift, and then scale what works.
Okay, let's shift from high-level strategy to the actual practical collection. How do you collect data the right way? Compliant, durable, respectful.
It means moving beyond just tracking clicks. You have to look for high-yield sources that give you persistent identity. So your web analytics, in-app event streams, CRM records.
Yeah.
Those are essential. And you've got to mix online and offline signals to build a truly complete profile.
But the way we ask for that data has to change, right? You can't just hit someone with a giant form the second they land on your site.
No, that old way is dead. Compliance and a great customer experience are now totally intertwined. So instead of those aggressive forms, you use short contextual surveys, preference centers. And the key technique is something called progressive profiling.
Explain that one. It sounds like it captures the whole building trust over time idea.
But think of it like a friendship. You don't ask for someone's life story on a first date.
Right.
Progressive profiling means you ask for the minimum viable information up front, maybe just an email. Then, as the user interacts and gets value, you ask for a little more, contextually.
So after their first purchase, maybe you ask for a birthday for a discount.
Exactly. Or after 3 checkouts, you ask for sizing info for better recommendations. You build a richer profile over time as the user sees the value in sharing that information with you.
And that makes the customer experience the foundation of compliance. So what does that look like in the actual UI?
It starts with total transparency, clear language, non-discrimination clauses, really easy and visible opt-outs, and crucially, we need to offer granular consent patterns.
Meaning you let the user choose what they're opting into.
Per-purpose toggles. So they can say, yes, use my email for service updates, but no, don't share my browsing data with ad partners. It avoids that all-or-nothing demand. It empowers the user.
And timing the ask is everything for opt-in rates.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The research says you time the request right when the user needs the feature, so you show immediate value. The example in the source was great. Ask for camera access right when they need to upload a boarding pass.
So it feels functional, not intrusive.
Precisamente. And once you get that consent, the operational part is huge. You have to document that consent state and sync it across every single platform to prevent misuse.
Let's talk about the tech stack. To unify all these inputs, what are the key tools you need in this modern ecosystem?
The foundational tool is the Customer Data Platform, the CDP. It handles that real-time identity unification, think segment or mParticle. You also need product analytics tools like Amplitude or Mixpanel, your core CRM, and mobile measurement partners or MMPs for mobile attribution.
That sounds like a powerful but, well, a pretty complex set of tools. Which brings up that big warning from the source material, interoperability.
It is the biggest barrier. We
Wow.
know over 60% of brands really struggle to link their platforms together. Your strategy has to prioritize tools with open APIs, exportable schemas, and shared taxonomies.
A shared language for your data.
Exactly. If your product team calls an event product viewed and marketing calls it item seen, your data is instantly fractured. You need universal naming conventions to avoid those costly silos. Trapping your data in a proprietary system is a huge long-term risk.
So once the data is clean, unified, and flowing, how do we activate it? How do we turn those signals into measurable action?
The key is speed. You have to build segments that update instantly. We're talking milliseconds based on what a customer is doing. Real-time activation means if someone abandons a cart, they're immediately in that segment, and a personalized offer goes out in minutes.
And you can move beyond just reacting, right? This high-quality data is perfect for prediction.
It's ideal for it.
Yeah.
You train your machine learning models on these clean signals to surface things like churn risk, upsell opportunities, or the next best action for any given user. Then you wire those predictions directly into your lifecycle triggers.
And that's what enables that true cross-channel orchestration, where it feels like one fluid conversation with the brand, not 6 different disjointed pushes.
That seamless experience depends entirely on having that unified profile and respecting the consent stated in it. Harmonizing everything in one governed hub ensures every message is consistent and respectful.
And none of this works if the data quality is poor. I love that the source material says you have to treat your event catalog like a product itself.
You absolutely must. It needs version control, clear ownership, consistent naming like product view or checkout start, and you need to run regular maintenance rituals, deduping, enrichment, hygiene checks. That's what preserves the long-term trust in your insights.
Okay, that brings us to the new world of measurement. If we can't rely on cookie-based clicks anymore, where does the focus shift?
We have to focus on durable KPIs, the metrics that finance and product teams actually trust anyway: customer lifetime value, LTV, retention cohorts, and CAC payback period. These show true business health.
But marketing teams still need to know where to put the next dollar. If user-level attribution is gone, how do they figure out what's working?
Right, so we replace that granular tracking with statistical modeling. The source points to 2 main alternatives. First is media mix modeling, or MMM.
Okay.
This uses historical data sales, budgets, seasonality, to estimate the impact of entire channels, like TV or paid search, without tracking individuals. It's great for big strategic budget decisions.
And the second option?
Incrementality testing. This is all about establishing causality. You use randomized control groups, you hold out a group from seeing a campaign to measure the actual lift that campaign generated versus what would have happened anyway.
So to wrap this all up, our deep dive has covered this massive shift, the strategy, the compliant collection, the tooling. What's the core conclusion?
It's that a strong first-party data strategy turns consented inputs into predictable growth and regulatory resilience. When you align your tooling, your governance, and your customer experience, this whole approach becomes a real competitive moat. It's better for customers, and it's measurably better for the business.
It's about building reliable foundations that can weather any external storm.
And looking forward, the cutting edge is all about applying AI and machine learning to these high-quality signals to automate decisions and personalize experiences faster than ever before.
So for the professional listening who wants to stay ahead of the curve, what's the one proactive challenge we want to leave them with?
It's this. You must focus on how to govern those resulting ML models. As you automate predictions, identifying churn risks or product needs, you need robust governance. This means monitoring for model drift, ensuring fairness.
Meaning the model isn't unintentionally biased.
Exactly. Not discriminating against certain customer segments, and, crucially, monitoring for explainability.
Explainability, so understanding why the model made a certain recommendation.
That's it. If a model flags a loyal customer as high risk, you need to know why. Was it a drop in app usage? A service complaint? Governing for explainability ensures that your automated decisions remain trustworthy and actionable. That's where the next wave of data efficiency is going to be won.